How do? Bit warm today. So Stephen's at home, going to be taking him out later. So I bought my stand-in therapist. So here we go. Yay! And you are?
Your better half.
This is my better half, guys. A lot of new subscribers. It's our lass, as we say in Yorkshire. And when I were growing up, I used to say it like the bird. Are we allowed to say that now?
You can say that.
I can say that. Yeah, so bit of a walk and talk, guys. We've got her out, the missus, like I say, a bit warm for our Stephen. So I did a video a couple of 3 days ago, Page Hall, Sheffield. Incidentally, the sunglasses, she has bad hay fever, so Audrey Hepburn. Do you know who Audrey Hepburn is? You're too young to know who Audrey Hepburn is.
Come on, lad.
Age gap relationship. What's the age difference between us, lass?
20 years.
Sorry, say that again. Don't forget the mic's here on my shoulder.
20 years.
20 years. 20 years, you wouldn't know it, would you, looking at us, guys? You know, fresh-faced 30-year-old and a 40-something. Come on.
Good call.
Yeah, it is a good call. We'll walk here under the shade. Right, so like I say, I went down Page Hall. Well, you tell them Saturday, you asked to go for a drive, didn't you?
Date night.
Date night. And what happened?
You took me to Page Hall.
Page Hall in Sheffield, yeah. I took her for a drive round there. Put my GoPro in the front of the car. 17-minute video after we finished the walk and talk. Feel free, fast forward, have a little look. So Page Hall is, I'm going to tell you through 4 comments on that little video. Then I'm going to ask our lass for her impression of the place. I'm going to give you mine. And then we're going to talk a little bit about a little place we lived in Salford. So 4 comments on the channel. Somebody lived in Page Hall. There is a big Roma community. So Keza, I believe she's called, subscriber, hope you're all right, lass. She works in the community with different social groups, religions, ethnic backgrounds, you name it. She says by far the most difficult people to work with because they don't want to engage are the Roma community. Now that'd be fine if it was just a Roma community. It isn't. Slovakian Roma community. There is also a big Pakistani community, a big black community, a big white community. These people aren't interested in other social groups or whatever. So it causes problems. So thanks for that, Keza. 2 people who live down there. One moved 10 years ago. It's been going on a long while, this, at least 20 years. They said the moment they moved, they lived on Weldrake Road. I lived on that road with Julie. She was my landlady. Well, she was a best mate, really. Landlady's not a good word. You know, he said it was just a massive relief to get out of there. Another couple lived in a little cul-de-sac, so they had a Roma family move in. 7 days a week, 2-3 in the morning, back door open, music blazing and fighting and drinking, antisocial behaviour. You can't deal with it, there's nothing. Police can't do anything, the council can't do anything. You know, that couple said that them people moved out, and when they moved out, it was a relief. People live down there. People have lived down there all their lives. Have they not? Have they not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course they have.
I don't know whether I'm walking or stopping or...
Sorry. I'm used to having Stephen. I'm just checking on him. If you want to run into bushes and have a sniff or
grab a ball.
Yeah, I should have brought a ball, shouldn't I? I've got a ball, or I can brush you if you want. So fourth person, this is on a serious note, a guy, bless you, who works for the RAC. If you're not from this country, it's a motoring organisation, a breakdown organisation, yeah? So they are turning up to help people who are broken down. One of their lads, I believe he said, seriously assaulted. I can't remember what he said, stabbed, hospitalised. In this area, somebody turns up to mend somebody's car and they were attacked and stabbed. He said be very careful, Sam, on your bike. The youngsters, he says, no problem, tiny kids, 10-year-olds and under. However, it's not so good when they're getting in the back of the van trying to pinch tools. He says the teenagers are all carrying. You can see the weapons. You know, they've got shorts on, trackies, you can see the knives sticking out of them. Very, very dangerous. And he says keep away from the area. Like I said, people were born and bred there and have lived there all their lives. Multicultural. You know, people talk about it, all these celebrity sportsmen or ex-sportsmen, Gary Linekers and that. The reality is, he don't live there and he never will, and he'll never come close to living there. And then somebody suggested, which is a fantastic idea, if you're an MP for an area, you should live in that area. Yeah, see what it's like. I don't think things will change. There's a lot of big families down there. There's a lot of kids down there. And if they see the adults just littering the street, what was the rubbish like, love? It was bad, weren't it?
It was bad, yeah. I don't think camera picked up on how bad it was.
Like I said, I got a camera in the front of the car, just driving around the area to get an idea what it was like. There is rubbish everywhere. There is a problem with rats. The council, somebody said, you know, they are dealing with it. They have people out. He says, but within hours of the streets being cleaned, they're filthy again. So, from your point of view, and I've already said this, bearing in mind you were in the car, would you like to be walking around there in the day, never mind night?
Probably not, no. If I had to, I would, but I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't want to live there. I know that I understand that there's people that have no choice, and there's people that live there that that's all that they do know. But no, I wouldn't recommend it.
It's had an atmosphere, didn't it?
Yeah, it would definitely.
It's definitely run down. Like I say, it's probably 25 years ago I lived down there, and I lived there for a good 15 years as well, and it has changed massively. It didn't feel safe. I didn't see any women on the streets. A lot of adult males, teenagers and young kids. So let's talk about, well, we lived 3 places in Manchester, didn't we?
We did.
The first one we went to, I'm not going to mention it by name, I'll tell you for why. Because again, people live there. You want me to walk this way?
Yes.
Okay. We lived there for 6 months. Bear in mind, I was a prison officer. The sad thing was, in that estate, it was quite a new estate. We went a few times. The houses were nice, lovely little 3-bedroom houses. The problem was, a third were private owned. We were with Irwell Valley, which is a housing association. They were fantastic, no problem. And then Northern Counties also had a third of the properties. And Northern Counties, as it were, put all their problem children in there, problem families. Now, it was a small estate. You get 3 problem families and it becomes, well, it was a nightmare. There were more than that. What's the matter?
Going this way.
We're going this way? Okay. You know, it was problematic. Can you recall the day we moved in?
Yeah, it was morning, weren't it?
We moved in.
Sofas outside. I don't know what they were drinking.
Special brew. That's a strong alcoholic drink if you're not from this country.
Was that across from us?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was completely different, weren't
We
it?
got there at 8. It was dead quiet. By 10 o'clock, sofas out, people in the dress gowns drinking, people just coming and looking in our front window. Eventually, I would park my car right up to our front window, otherwise people would just come and nosy. Can you remember that night?
That dog's not liking you.
Is he not? Can you remember the first night?
Do you know what? It's all moulded into one.
Blended.
Blended.
First
Same
night,
thing.
2:30 in the morning, we're laid in bed under our front bedroom window. Next door neighbour got the shit kicked out of him by
people. It was people down.
2 families. Who,
it was in a cul-de-sac, weren't it?
Yeah,
so it
were,
were
yeah.
people that were on there.
This is our first night. People drinking, antisocial behaviour, and 2:30 in the morning. Were we laughing?
Well, it's either laugh or cry. Isn't
It is laugh or cry. Again, in that area, there were some good people there. There were some private houses. People had got mortgages and bought houses. The private ones, you could tell, they had big fences around them, felt sorry for them. And like I say, we had 6 months of help. Bear in mind, I'm a prison officer. You know, the next door neighbour said to me, he says, you were on K-Wing, weren't you? That's where I worked, in Strangeways on K-Wing. I says, yeah, I got my hands in my pockets, got my fist clenched. I thought, here we go. He says, were you on the 2s landing, which is where I worked? I said, yeah. He says, I were on the 3s, what cell were you in? He thought I was a con. However, I had all my tyres slashed, nothing to do with me being a prison officer, nobody knew. Loads of cars, windows put through on my cars. Either side, during that 6 months, someone knocked their house doors in, didn't they, with sledgehammers.
They set it on fire, didn't they?
Yeah, next door neighbour's back garden got set on fire because they had a dog.
The house next door, the other side, got set on fire as well just before we moved.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was shocking. Now, you know, I were working, so we found somewhere private menting a mile away, which was totally different, weren't it? Down at Walkden, super quiet. But again, you got to feel sorry for the people who were living there and couldn't afford to move, or who were buying houses.
They didn't have a choice though, did they?
No, they didn't have a choice. However, our next door neighbour, they were probably one of the biggest problems on there, and they moved them out. When they moved them out, the people who were moving in, they shared a van, they knew each other, so they moved one problem family out and moved another in. And that's what happens. We then moved to Little Alton from Walkden, didn't we? Little Alton.
I liked it.
Exactly. Little Alton, people have said don't sleep. We lived there for 5 years. We lived above the precincts.
We had good neighbours.
Yeah, we did. The Masonettes above the precincts, if you're in Little Alton, above City West, that's where we lived 5 years. Our neighbours were salt to earth. There was one lad who lived close by who made sure my garage, where my motorbike and that, never got touched. Or our cars or anything else. I felt safe in there. Every day I come out, I saw someone dinner, loads of lads that I used to lock up. You know, they say, what are you doing, Mr. S? Me and the missus lived there, don't be robbing it. No, it's all right, Mr. S, weren't it? And it was good for you because when we lived at Walkden, we never saw anyone, did we?
No.
Little Alton, neighbours, all of them, good friends, fantastic, weren't they? Yeah. So there you go. Video to follow, like I said, fast forward, do whatever, look at a couple of minutes, page all, part 2. Thanks.
Next time, can I bring me sun cream?
Yeah, sun cream next time. Thanks for stepping in for Stephen. Do you want to just have a run round, parting shot? In fact, you stay there. So guys, this weekend I did have an interview. The lad's got COVID now. Hopefully I'm going to catch up with Lee and somebody else, but in the next couple of weeks we're going to start stepping it up. 2 lots of long What are you doing?
Flower.
2 lots of long content a week, and something I'm super excited about. I've told you I'm going to go out and visit prisons and places. I've now got a camera set up for my helmet and a mic in my helmet. So when I get that set up, some of these dodgy areas and that, I'm going to go out, do commentary, stuff like that. Lots of things, lots of ideas coming. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to everyone. Do you want to say out?
I'll sit there.
I'll sit there. Stay there and I can do my parting shot. Parting shot as always. I'll sit there. How do? Are you going to say out?
No.
So, page all part 2. Back in car with our lass. Saturday night. Said she'd like a run out. So, going to come back and see what it's like. Got my GoPro on the dash of her car. We're on Sicey Avenue. Those of you that know Sheffield, and to the left of us now, one of these houses, talked about in my first book, living in a squat. And it was round about here. We lived there for about 18 months. I was working literally we'll go to work, 6 o'clock, get a shower at work, get a shower when I left work, good at pub, good at chippy, back to the squat, sleeping bag on floor. So there you go. Like I said, I've been poor, on my arse, no money, but I had a roof over my head, and I've had a job, but nowhere to live, so I lived in a squat. And there you go. So I'm going to be driving now up Barnsley Road and down into Page Hall, and I'm going to be looking for reactions from our lass. I'm not sure what she's expecting. When was the last time you were down Page Hall? A good few years?
Over 10 years ago.
Over 10 years?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go for it then, eh? What do you think to your Saturday night, date night? You enjoying it?
Can't beat this, can you?
Can't beat it, can you, love? I think we'll probably round it off with a few drinks at home.
I think I'm gonna need it.
You might well need it, and maybe a pizza or something like that, eh? Right, let's go this way. Do you know where you are?
Yeah.
Where? Going on to Barnsley Road, Bob. Was the Camel Oak stable?
Yeah.
These roads in Sheffield are absolutely fantastic. Bellhouse Road we're on now. We've come too far, don't matter, does it? So we'll pop down into Firth Park and then down to Fairvale Page Hall. You enjoying it?
Loving it.
Pardon?
Loving it.
Like I said in part one, anyone who lives in Firth Park, Page Hall, I'd like to have a chat about what's going on down there. I think it's worth mentioning that there's a community hub and a lot of sort of residential action groups who are trying to improve things. But my fear is, like I saw all the kids on the streets this afternoon, all happy, you know, loving the motorbike and all that. Them kids grow up seeing adults just sat about and sorting any disputes with their fists and chucking rubbish in streets and everything else. They're just going to grow up doing the same. You know, not ideal role models. So what do you do about that? And the other thing we have to think about this community, going to be driving down into, like I say, I live there. There's people now, pensioners, fearful of going out at night, who have grown up there, grown up in the parents' houses, gone to school round here, lived all their lives round here. Now they live in fear. A couple of articles I've read described one resident saying, you know, Saturday night, 10 men outside the front window, which is on the pavement as it were, you know, taking drugs, drinking, being abusive. You can't even hear your own TV. Just imagine that. How intimidating is that? Right, we're at Sheffield Lane Top now. Got to turn left down past Firth Park into Page Hall and Fairvale. Looking for reactions from our lass. First time trying this, guys. I don't know what the footage is going to be like through the windscreen. Hopefully it'll be alright. On your left as we go down here, it used to be Firth Park School. On the right, Longley Park. Like I said, a lot of greenery, a lot of parks around here. It's a shame, really. Firth Park School, I believe, was one of the first schools in Sheffield to have some sort of entry search procedure. People taking knives into school. That's over 20 years ago, that. Longley Park Sixth Form. Is that new, that? Do you know?
No, it's been a while.
Has it? Right, we're coming down Barnsley Road now. Northern General off here. Great hospital. Did you ever live around here?
Yeah, lovely.
You lived on the... Oh yeah, of course. Okay then. So we're going to turn now. Metcalfe Road. Do we want this one or the next one? Let's take this one. Weldrake Road. So I'm going to turn right here. I used to live on this road with a very good friend. She was lovely. She still lives there. Hopefully get to interview her. She'll tell you what it's like living around here. Like I say, you have to feel for a lot of people. A lot of people who have lived here all their lives. I'm going to take right. This is where I were this afternoon on Bolsover Road. Fantastic driving round here, coupled with the Sheffield roads. Cheers, dude. What's that noise?
I think it should be.
Turn right here. And we're going to go left here. I used to go in that supermarket there. What's the bus driver doing?
He's going now.
Is this guy going? Oh, he's stopping. House Lane, used to live on here, number 116. See, a lot of the people are quite friendly, aren't they? Popple Street. Oh dear, not getting down there, are we? Where's he going behind me? Oh, fucking hell. Pardon my French. You have to turn round here.
I was just about to say, is it there?
They blocked it off. It used to be able to get through here. Obviously now you can't. walking down here on your own? Eh?
I had to. Oh, I protect you.
You'll protect me, will you?
I protect you.
Roby Street. I think Roby Street is where the coppers were living. Lloyd Street. I lived on next one up, Wade Street. Where I got mobbed this afternoon here. Literally, Wade Street up there, I lived on there. Here, where we are now, must have had about 35 kids around me. You know, wanting to rev my bike and that. I lived on here. Clive lived here, the corner house. That's one of my best mates. I haven't seen him for a while. We should go and see him, shouldn't we? I've watched the cat, love. And there you go. All quiet on the Western Front at the minute. What do you think?
I expected worse.
You expected worse?
Yeah.
Just here where the White House is. I lived there for 10 years. And there you go. Quick tour of Page Hall. We'll have a run down Fir Vale. And then we'll sort you out with a proper pizza or something, eh? Make it a real date night. Could have brought some wine or whatever, you know, used our cooler.
Oh, cool.
We've got a proper cooler, a wine cooler that you plug in to a cigarette lighter on the car. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Would you
I do know now.
Would you have brought wine?
Of course.
Like a lot of deprived areas, you can't see these houses now, but to my right there's some absolute mansions as well. You know, Page Hall is described as one of the most deprived areas in Sheffield, but like I say, a lot of people have lived there all their lives. You know, it's all they've known. You have to feel sorry for them, and kudos to the people who are trying to change it, trying to make it better. So I was here this afternoon doing a little vlog. We'll go down the bottom, Berries Road, and then the night's yours, yeah. So I tell you a cat tale, you'd hate me if I did, but no.
Tell me what?
A tale about a cat that no.
You wish.
Well, you know I love cats. Just here where we are now, I ran over a cat on my motorbike.
When?
A long time ago.
Oh, I thought you meant this afternoon.
No, not this afternoon, a long time ago. And whoever owned the cat saw the cat get run over, but I didn't know that. So, you know, the cat was squished. It was still alive. So I didn't know what to do, so I went into the wood and killed it humanely. Yeah, you're looking shocked. I didn't run it over on purpose, love. However, years later, at the rugby club, Carrots with his missus were there, and we were talking about animals, and she said her cat got run over on Firth Park Road by a motorbike. And Carrots pointed at me and said, it'll be him, he had a motorbike. And she said, you didn't take it into the wood, did you? I was like, oh my God. But, you know, I am a good person, love. I didn't run it over on purpose. Right, let's go back through here, down the bottom, back up Perry's Road and off home, yeah?
I have no words.
No words, no. Last time I was down here, when I come down in the camper, I got trapped, a car in front of me, a car behind me, and I thought they were going to have me off a camper. I really did. I also lived down here in one of these houses on the right for a couple of years. Like I said, some of these houses are massive. This is your second shopping centre. There's been running battles on here. Like I said, they're all over YouTube. And like I said about the Roma, Slovakia,